Hello, welcome. It is Spiritual 411, and I am Melissa, evidential medium and master instructor with integrated energy therapy and spiritual life coach. So, welcome. Thank you so much for being here wherever you're finding me on all your podcast platforms and YouTube. So, thank you so much. Today, I'm really being called to talking about spirits bringing me this idea of realizing the divinity within, which is actually the kind of the moniker of my website. And I didn't really know what that meant when honestly, that was given to me. When I was putting my website together, I did it on my own, and that kind of showed up. And it was really interesting because spirit is very, it's all energy. We're all energy. Spirit's energy, we're energy, it's all energy, right? So we are on an energetic modality when you're, listening to something or watching something or creating something on the computer, on your phone, on anything that is a device, anything that uses energy, spirit can manipulate. And so I felt like that was really given to me. And I didn't really know what it meant at the time. This was a decade ago, and I was still stepping into my own communication and relationship with my spirit guides. And, if you're finding this podcast, because you're someone that is spiritually aligned, like you've been feeling spirit, whether you've acknowledged it or not, whether it's been conscious or unconscious, there's been something other in your life that was more than just your five physical senses. And so this is what I feel like we're going to be talking about today, that, we dipped into it with our last conversation on being an empath, and that is your clairsentience, the ability to feel spirit in your body, physically feel spirit, but also emotionally feel spirit. So, today let's talk a little bit more about the others, right? So the clairaudience, being able to hear, claircognizance, be able to know, clairvoyance, be able to see, right? The other senses. And then there's the be able to smell and to taste, which if you are a medium and you work as a medium, chances are you're going to develop those other senses as well. But for most of us, we have this ability to tap into spirit. And whether we, again, conscious or unconscious, you've been doing it consciously or unconsciously, you're getting to a point where you're doing it consciously, right? Or you're wanting to do it more, or you're wanting to do it better, right? One of the things that I always get is, spirit is subtle. They're persistent, but they're subtle. And how do you differentiate between what is your own and what is spirit, right? And so getting into connection with spirit, you have to really get into connection with the subtlety of spirit. Now it's not subtle, when they're keeping you safe from some kind of accident, or they're not, jumping into your space to keep you from something that's going to harm you. Those experiences we all have, I think, in one aspect or another. But for most of us, right, we want to be in connection with spirit, because what I say is spirit has the playbook. They've got the blueprint of all the different timelines and all the different choices that we can make and how it could work out, right? And they're always steering us towards the shortcut, the easiest road, right? But we as humans, we get in the way of that. Boy, do we get in the way of that. We want to do it our way. Or we want the signs and the synchronicities so in your face that you can't ignore them. And unfortunately, again, you get those on occasion when it's imperative, but mostly it's subtle. It's persistent, but it's subtle. And this is where getting into connection with spirit on a regular basis is really important. So what I say, and what I've taught for years, is when you're starting out, whether you're a good meditator or not, whether you practice meditation or not, it is going to be important for you to quiet your energy, your mind, your whole system, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, energetically, right? And it can be really hard to quiet that mental body, for sure, right? So one of the things that I find works for those of you who are just starting, or you're wanting to go to the next level in your connection to spirit, and we're going to talk about why this is important, is to do it at the same time and the same place every day. So you've got a favorite chair. Maybe you do it right after you wake up. Maybe you do it, on your lunch break in your car. Maybe you do it at night after the kids are in bed and you've got 5 minutes. It could be in the bathroom if you've got to, close and lock the door. And meditation doesn't have to be sitting quietly for, an hour. Most of us, myself included. I mean, I've been meditating pretty regularly for the past decade. I still struggle with it on occasion. It's not something that comes easily to any of us. We are not set up, honestly, as humans to be quiet mentally or in any way, really. So this is about practice. Practice, and find different ways for meditating, whether it's a guided meditation, you're listening to Hertz music. You can find those on YouTube. You can listen to whatever resonates with you, whoever resonates with you, whatever frequency resonates with you. Sometimes I go and I find, believe it or not, you can listen to a ticking clock on YouTube. Sometimes that monotonous, water dripping, clock ticking, that can keep your mind, that other part of your mind busy while you quiet down the rest of it. So whatever works for you, getting out in nature, listening to the birds, you know, listening to water, whether again dripping faucet or a stream, a brook, or again listening to something on YouTube where it's rain sounds. Don't overthink it and don't stress yourself out about it, because the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And some days you're going to be right there. You're going to be able to sit for 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes or nothing more than 20 minutes. But you're going to be able to do it. Some days you just can't. You just can't. And this is where a guided meditation would really be beneficial. A 5, 7, 10-minute guided meditation, just kind of quieting your mind. The more you do it, the easier it gets, and you'll find the benefit of it. You really will. Like your anxiety will come down. You'll sleep better. You'll be able to handle your stress better. You'll be making better choices eating. Like it really is a whole body system reboot when you do it. And then the result of it is being able to get into connection with your spirit guides or your spirit team or whoever you believe in or whatever you call them. It doesn't matter. So, so that's really important. But it's important because, and this is why, it's time. If you're listening to this, it's time for you to get the shortcut. It's time for you to stop having to bump your nose, to go around the bend, learn the lesson, go through all the things. Because for most of you, you've been through the things. You've been through it. You've bloodied the nose. You've scraped the knees. You've been at the bottom of the barrel. And it really is time for you to take those wisdom that you have learned and gained, and now take that to a more direct path towards your goals and the things that you want. And how do you do that? If you're working with spirit, they will line you up with the right people, the right situations. They will basically put synchronicity in your way. It's not coincidence, it's synchronicity. And then the other thing is, why is this important? Well, this is important because it is now time for you to step into your purpose, into your mission. And so, I'm going to have a lot of people asking me, can I do this? Can I get the shortcut? Do I have to keep bloodying my nose and bumping, scraping my knees and hitting the bottom of the barrel, right? No, you don't. Everybody is biologically predisposed to be in connection with their spirit team. You can call it your higher self. You can call it your oversoul. You can call it your guardian angel. Whatever you're comfortable with, whatever religion or modality that you're coming to this with, there's no judgment here. Everybody's accepted, because biologically, we all have a pineal gland. And your pineal gland is your antenna to the divine. And it's just about charging it. It's just about getting it charged. And how you do that is through meditation. And again, whatever that looks like for you, don't let that word like feel like you're dumped out of this conversation because you can't meditate. I was actually watching another podcaster, and I don't really want to call her out. She's kind of famous. But she was having a conversation with a very evolved spiritual teacher. And she kept getting kind of squirrely a little bit, and it kind of come off as disrespectful. But really, what it ended up being, when I got really thinking about it, is it's just we can be afraid of getting into connection with spirit. Like, is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? Am I going to be okay? Right? And that's really, really important because, yes, we live in a dualistic energy field on the planet. There's light and there's dark. Evil, unfortunately, is real on the earth plane in the 3D. And it is something that you have to be cognizant of. You have to be aware of that you're not calling in anything that you don't want to be in connection with that is going to hurt you, keep you down, keep you in the lower frequencies, right? Remember, a couple of podcasts ago, I talked about the emotional chart, right? And so love is at the top and fear is at the bottom and everything in between, right? And evil is always going to want to take you down into the lowest forms of fear, right? So envy and lust and evil, unfortunately. And so we want to reside in the light, right? We want to stay in the top half of the chart, but we also want to be in connection with the most loving beings, right? Whether you call them angels, you call them, galactic brothers and sisters, you call them your guardian angel, spirit guides, crossed over loved ones, ascended masters, it's all part and parcel at the end of the day. And so what your job is, being in this plane of existence and getting into connection with the divine, is to put in place the intention that you only want to be in connection with that which is in love, right? You can call in white light. You can call in the most highest loving beings, as long as you're putting the intention out. You're living in integrity. If you're living in integrity, you're already so far away from the bottom of that chart that it's actually hard and unpalatable for evil to get in connection with you, because you don't feel good, right? You feel light, you feel in connection with the divine, with God, Christ consciousness, and that doesn't feel good to evil, right? That doesn't feel good to anybody who is in those lower realms. Even in people in the physical, very narcissistic people, the sociopaths, the psychopaths, all those really lower frequency. It really just comes down to, we're in a vibrational universe, and it comes down to frequency each and every time. And so if your intention when you're sitting down to get into connection with your spirit team, your angels, your ascended masters, your crossed over loved ones, guardian angel, as long as you're putting the intention out that they reside in the light or they're of the love, right? And you're also living in integrity. You're also doing the best you can to not be fear-based, to not get into those lower frequencies, right? That is also a form of protection. Because if you're not resonating at those lower levels, then it's really harder for them to get into connection with you. And this is also important when you think about how you think, because your thoughts, right? Your thoughts are also creating your frequency. And so you also want to make sure that you're not, constantly thinking bad about yourself. You're not constantly dissing yourself. You're not constantly putting yourself down, even jokingly. Even jokingly. I know years ago, I was actually seeing someone, and I would be very self-deprecating. And he was very spiritually aligned. And he would be like, whoa, wait a minute. What are you doing? Why are you joking about yourself? Like, that's not okay. And he explained it to me. And it really opened my eyes to the fact that how we think about ourselves, whether we think we're joking or not, it is a frequency that is drawing. Remember, law of attraction, law of correspondence, what you're putting out is you're getting back, as above, so below. Even jokingly, it's coming off as negative. And so it's really, really important to really think about, how you're living, what you're believing, and then what are you saying to yourself? So it's the emotions that you're putting out, living in the integrity, but it's also the high vibrational frequency of the thoughts, right? That you're thinking loving thoughts about yourself. And if you're someone that's been traumatized from a very early age, or you've been taught the story that you're worthless or you're powerless, then it's going to be really hard for you to train your thought pattern. And it's going to take intention and it's going to take practice. And so, really important as you move forward to practice awareness of what you're thinking and then changing those thought patterns. And it really does come down to paying attention to what you're thinking. I mean, we think thousands and thousands of thoughts a day. And so are you gonna catch all of them right away? Absolutely not, and that's okay, like, don't beat yourself up, but as long as you're putting your practice of self-awareness in place, you're really gonna start changing the way you think about yourself. Positive affirmations, listening to those as you're falling asleep also helps to reprogram your subconscious, which can also help you to change your conscious. So, positive affirmations consciously while you're awake, absolutely, but also falling asleep to positive affirmations can also really help to change that vibration very quickly. And so this is how you start to get into connection with your spirit team. You raising your frequency and it's going out your pineal gland all the way up into the divine. So can everybody do this? Absolutely, because you have the biology, but it will take work. It will take intention. It will take practice. And for those of you who are here, you're already in connection or you wouldn't be here. So it's about being to the next level of the connection. So for some of you, it's very introductory. You're just starting out. You know that you're in connection with spirit, but maybe you don't know what to do with it or you don't know how to trust and act on it, which can be the hardest part when you're feeling things or you're hearing things or you're knowing things or you're seeing things. And it's like, how do I trust that? How do I know that that's not my imagination, right? What I'm going to tell you is spirit is always going to bring you counterintuitive information. Because here's the thing, anything that you would think is going to keep you comfortable. You've already done it. You've already experienced it. You know how it goes. You're comfortable with it, right? But it hasn't gotten you what you want. It hasn't gotten you where you want to be. And so spirit is going to be bringing you the ideas and the thoughts and the synchronicities and the opportunities and the people. And it's going to make you feel uncomfortable because you've never done that before. You don't know that person. You don't know that road. You don't know that place. You don't know that idea. You haven't done it before. And so spirit is always pushing you out of your comfort zone. That is one of the easiest ways to know, is this my thought or is this spirit? Because if it's your thought, it's telling you what you want to hear. Maybe in not the same form. Maybe it's a different wording. But if it makes you feel comfortable, it's it's not spirit. The other thing spirit will do is when they're taking you on a new road, a new journey, a new relationship, a new job, is you'll feel excited about it. There'll be a little bit of scared to it, but it's an excited scared. That's when you know you're being divinely guided to a very good situation, something that is going to work out very well for you. And again, spirit is subtle. But the more you trust and act on what they bring you, and I tell the people all the time, start small, start with the little things. Don't try to jump off a cliff right away, right? Not being able to have the faith that the net is there catching you. It is, but let's start small. So let's jump off the step, right? And then if that wasn't the right step, you won't get that hurt. It won't be that hard to come off of. So start small. And the more you do that, the more you will build that muscle memory in how to trust and act on what spirit is bringing you. It takes time. It takes practice. And also, talking to people who are like-minded, maybe talking to people who are going through something very similar can also be very helpful. Definitely finding like-minded people, a community can absolutely help you. You're never alone. Spirit is always with you, always helping you, always guiding you, and they're always bringing you what you need when you need it, whether we've recognized it in the past or not. But as you move forward, you will really start to see that people and situations that you're coming into, again, it wasn't what you expected. It's not something you really know about, but you will start to see that, yes, this is going to end up being very beneficial for me. As long as you're trusting and acting on what spirit is bringing you, again, taking baby steps, moving into the bigger steps, and then the leaps of faith, right? Once you get to the leaps of faith, if you've done the practice, it's like it's not really a leap of faith. It's more of a just a bigger guided step, right? So that's how you really start to realize that divinity within you, that it's time to get into connection with spirit in a way that you're building a relationship. You're going to them and you're asking them all the time to help you when you're going to make decisions or when you're going to make changes, or even every morning, what is it that I need to be doing today? Where do I need to be going? Who do I need to be working with? And you'll get the information. They'll give you, it's not always how you think you're going to get it. So often the way that spirit brings you the information, it's not the way you expected it. And that's the other thing. Like, expect the unexpected. And just because it's not the way that you thought it would be doesn't mean it's not for you. More often than not, the way they bring you things is from out of left field. And that's why, over the years, when I have, been doing sessions for people, and they want to know, like, I'm getting the message from spirit that things are going in a certain direction, or they're going to be having this new experience. They always want to know how, and they always want to know when. Those are the things spirit doesn't give us. It's the part you have to surrender to. Surrender the how and the when, and stay in the faith that everything is working out for you each and every day. Because when you're building that relationship with your guides, trusting them becomes second nature, because they're always bringing you what you need, not what you want. Very, very important. Very, very important to differentiate. Not always what you want, but always, 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 always what you need, moving you in alignment to the purpose that you came here and the experiences you came here to have. So really, really important as humans to get out of our way, get out of our own way, and trusting and acting on what spirit is bringing us, because it's not going to be what we expect. It's going to be what we need. And it's not always going to be what we want, but it's always going to be better than what we could have dreamed, honestly. They're always bringing us the more, the better. Yeah. So that is realizing the divinity within. That is getting us started, right? So right now, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you're driving or operating heavy machinery, please pause and come back to the meditation at another time. But for those of you who are prepared, please close your eyes. Take a deep breath. You want to take a deep breath all the way down to the bottom of your belly. You want to hold it for a count of 3. And then when you release it fully. And we're going to take another nice deep breath in all the way down to the bottom of your belly. 1, 2, 3, and release. And all the way out. And now we are going to take another deep breath in, all the way into the bottom of your belly. Hold. 1, 2, 3, and release. And breathe normally. And now there's a beautiful waterfall of white light coming down, bringing with it relaxation. Feel the stress drop off your shoulders. Feel the anxiety release off your chest. Feel your jaw soften Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your body expand and relax. Relax the back of your head. Relax your torso. Relax your arms, your hands. Just relax. Be here in this moment, listening to my voice, thinking only of relaxation, letting it flow down your torso, down through your legs. Beautiful white light of energy coming in your crown, flowing down through your third eye, down through your throat. Beautiful white light coming down into your heart, down into your solar plexus, down into your sacral, down through your root, all the way down your legs, through the bottom of the soles of your feet, down through your Earth Star chakra, connecting you to Mother Gaia. Feel this beautiful white hara line coming through your chakra body, cleansing, adjusting, clearing your energetic field. And feel this beautiful white light, raising your vibrational frequency. And now we have Mother Mary stepping forward. Beautiful Mother Mary energy of nurturing, compassion, bringing in Mother's love, helping you to step into your higher heart of self-love. Feel Mother Mary's love and energy and arms around you as she imparts this beautiful, unconditional mothering love into your heart. And let it flow through you. Feel the love radiating out of your heart and down your torso and up, up through your throat, releasing the shame, clearing the blockage of not being able to speak your truth. Feel this beautiful blue light of love from Mother Mary coming into your third eye, helping you to open it, to see clearly that which is for you, that which is not, as you move forward. And this beautiful blue light coming up through your crown chakra and connecting you all the way up into your soul star chakra and all the way up through your stellar gateway chakra and connecting you to the source of divine, your divinity, realizing the divinity that is always within you, always available for you to connect into. Feel this beautiful love radiating throughout your body, throughout your chakras, into your auric field. Feel the love surrounding you, grounding you. The love from the divine, the love from your mother, your eternal mother. Take a deep breath in and release. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes and come back into your body. And we thank Mother Mary for being here, bringing us this beautiful energy of love and compassion, helping us to step into our self-love. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.